headlines of this hour on VTV News. Committee on Science, Technology, Innovation and Development holds the first meeting. And the U.S. remains a promising market for Vietnamese timber and wood products. In our world news, Israel attacks targets in Gaza as ceasefire deadlock breaks.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 3 p.m. local time and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyền Trân with the top stories. The Government Steering Committee on Science, Technology, Innovation, Digital Transformation and Project 06 held its first meeting on Tuesday, chaired by Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, who heads the committee. The Prime Minister highlighted how innovation, administrative reform, scientific advancement, and digital transformation are interconnected. He emphasized that prioritizing these elements represents a strategic imperative. The committee also identified key objectives, including institutional improvement and infrastructure development. Additionally, all sectors, localities, and educational institutions must create plans for human resource training. Also on Tuesday, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn and the working delegation visited the Tân Trào Special National Historic Site to offer incense in commemoration of President Ho Chí Minh and revolutionary predecessors. The visit was part of celebrations marking the 80th anniversary of Vietnam's first general election day. The National Assembly Chairman then visited the National Assembly Standing Committee relic site, where committee staff and officers worked during the resistance war against France. And during his visit, he received a report on the site's preservation and restoration project, and also presented gifts to 20 families with meritorious service records and those facing financial hardships. The U.S. remains a lucrative market for Vietnamese wood products, with exports to the U.S. marking up over half of Vietnam's total wood export revenue. However, as tax policies change and trade barriers become more stringent, Vietnamese wood businesses must adapt proactively to maintain their position in this promising market.
The U.S. housing market's recovery and lower shipping costs remain key drivers of growth. Demand is rebounding and expected to increase in the second half of the year.
Our primary market is the U.S., but we also export to others, such as Canada, Mexico, and Europe.
Meanwhile, this company has focused on enhancing its designs to meet U.S. consumer preferences while strengthening partnerships with American partners to secure its market position.
Diversifying products and using more American raw materials are our priorities. By importing their materials and selling our products to them, we hope to minimize the potential trade risks. While order volumes are not high yet, they are consistent.
To ensure sustainable exports and reduce risks, authorities have supported businesses in enhancing their trade defense capabilities. They aim to demonstrate that the trade relationship between Vietnam and the U.S. in the wood sector is mutually beneficial.
Companies with transparent management, modern software systems, and reliable supply chains can successfully avoid U.S. investigations. I firmly believe that Vietnam will continue to be the largest wood supplier to the U.S. market, especially in the indoor and outdoor furniture segments.
What we must do now is adhere to green transition and digital transformation standards to overcome barriers in challenging markets.
The Ministry of Industry and Trade continues to promote trade through international events.
Now, tax payment used to be a cumbersome process for some business households, taking an entire day to complete. But things have changed. Now business owners can declare and pay their taxes using just a smartphone or computer, making the process quicker and easier than ever before.
In 2024, This online seller's orders doubled compared to 2023. With the electronic portal for tax declaration and payment, the owner has saved a lot of time.
I'm extremely busy, so thankfully, I can now declare taxes online from home. The process is incredibly simple and convenient.
The electronic portal's biggest advantage for online business households is its easy accessibility.
It's very convenient for us. Now, we can pay taxes and make declarations without having to go to the tax office. It saves us both time and money.
When tax payment is difficult, people are less likely to comply, even those earning billions from online sales. However, with a simple process and reasonable tax rates, compliance increases, leading to better tax collection and reduced fraud.
Through the integration of the eTax mobile app and ongoing digital tax reforms, this streamlined process has delivered tangible benefits to both individuals and businesses.
And in February alone, more than 130 foreign suppliers registered, declared, and paid taxes through the electronic information portal. The estimated collection exceeded $109 million, representing more than 32% of last year's total collection. The tax department has worked with major e-commerce platforms such as Shopee, Tiki, Lazada, Sendo, and TikTok to request and support them in providing required information according to regulations. Last year, the tax industry handled 33,000 violations, with tax arrears and fines totaling $54.8 million. A kilogram of Vietnamese specialty coffee can fetch up to $50 at auctions, 5 to 7 times higher than regular coffee beans. And despite being the world's second largest coffee exporter, most of Vietnam's exports are raw products. The potential value of Vietnamese coffee remains largely untapped. And recognizing this opportunity, Vietnamese companies are now working to develop and promote their specialty coffee in the global market.
After years of importing coffee from Vietnam, Tech Coop Company is now seeking specialty coffee that offers complex layers of flavors, sustainable growing practices, and higher quality.
Recently, and because of what's going on in the United States with tariffs, a lot of people have asked us for fine Robusta this year.
The quality of raw materials accounts for 70% of what makes a specialty coffee product exceptional.
Our coffee plantation follows U.S. Rainforest Alliance standards. We ensure anti-deforestation practices and traceability. We prioritize producing flavorful coffee while maintaining ecological balance, improving coffee quality, boosting local incomes, and safeguarding the environment.
Though specialty coffee accounts for only about 2% of the world's total coffee production, its value is 5 to 10 times higher than that of regular coffee varieties. Building a unique brand for Vietnamese specialty coffee is essential to boosting exports.
Exported for Robusta coffee worldwide, and the second, and I see a lot of potential to improve the technique.
Local identity plays a crucial role in brand promotion. While DEADLOCK is establishing itself as the world's coffee capital, regions like Quang Tri and Son La also offer unique flavors and characteristics that help showcase Vietnamese coffee to the world.
By 2030, Vietnam aims to expand its specialty coffee growing area to 11,000 hectares. Developing sustainable growing areas and promoting deep processing are part of a long-term strategy to strengthen the global position of Vietnamese coffee.
Though not a new concept, mulberry cultivation and silkworm rearing remain in high demand due to the growing popularity of silk products. Many localities have seized this opportunity by restoring and expanding these practices, providing stable income for local residents. This report comes from Quang Sơn Commune in Ninh Sơn District, Ninh Thuận Province.
Keen's family was the first to revive mulberry cultivation and silkworm rearing in Quang Son Commune. Working with a 200 square metre plot, they raised 2 boxes of silkworm eggs per batch.
Mulberry trees are harvested every 40 days, from one batch to the next. For silkworms, the harvesting times vary by larval stage.
The silkworm rearing model requires minimal investment, as young silkworms are inexpensive and readily available. Using just a 40 square meter porch, a farmer can raise a box of silkworm eggs purchased for $20 and earn approximately $270 per month.
I bought mulberry seeds and planted them. Once the trees mature in about 4 months, I plan to begin raising silkworms.
Currently, 6 households in the commune are engaged in mulberry cultivation and silkworm rearing, managing approximately 4 hectares of mulberry trees. 1 hectare of mulberry cultivation yields an average of $12,000 per year.
We encourage households to grow mulberries and raise silkworms to establish a craft village. Our goal is to create a cooperative that will form a value chain with silk processing businesses.
The mulberry cultivation and silkworm rearing model has provided farmers in Kwangson commune with stable incomes.
And before moving on to some other news, let's take a look at the foreign exchange rate for today, March 18th. Coming up next on VTV News. Major cities to enforce strict vehicle emission controls. An ancient Theo dance tradition showcases Hatlang cultural heritage. The government has recently directed Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City to limit high-emission vehicles. New emission standards for cars and motorbikes need to be finalized promptly. The Ministry of Agriculture and Environment will establish national emission standards for cars in March and motorbikes in April. And the government is also pushing for expanded public transportation and encouraging a shift to green transport options. Urban planning will undergo review with dedicated lanes planned for different vehicle types. As both Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City rank among the world's most polluted cities, citizens are urged to reduce their use of personal vehicles and gradually transition to environmentally friendly transportation. A series of incidents regarding the quality of agricultural products have caused public concern and frustration. Many solutions have been proposed, including the Cooperative Program for Goods Quality Control, commonly known as the Green Tick of Responsibility Initiative. And after a year, the initiative has already positively impacted agricultural production regions.
At this supermarket, the packaging of fruit and vegetables now features a special mark, allowing consumers to recognize products that are part of the Green Tick of Responsibility initiative. Launched in March last year, the program helps suppliers and retailers ensure strict product quality control.
Whenever I see a green tick of responsibility, I immediately know that my safety is guaranteed when consuming that product.
Ho Chi Minh City's Department of Industry and Trade has expanded the program into the Central Highlands since the beginning of this year, as the region is a key agricultural supplier for the entire country. In Lamdong province, many facilities are interested in the initiative.
We have a code for customers to scan, allowing them to see which farmer grew the product in Dalat City. This transparency ensures accountability, so we regularly remind farmers to take responsibility for the products they bring to market.
At this farm, vegetables are cultivated following global GAP standards. The producer has integrated various technical solutions to control pesticide residues.
Because we ensure strict compliance with quality standards, we strongly support the Green Tick of Responsibility initiative.
As the leading vegetable-growing locality in the country, Lâm Đồng supplies the market with 3 million tons of vegetables annually. Therefore, producers hope the green tick of responsibility will be widely implemented. This initiative not only protects consumers, but also safeguards honest producers.
Now, in response to the growing demand for sightseeing tours, Bắc Ninh province has decided to triple its Sunday free bus service. And the Saturday schedule will increase from 4 to 6 buses, while Sunday service will expand from 4 to 12 buses. Tourists will continue traveling in high-quality 45-seat buses. And this decision, announced Monday afternoon, follows 2 weekends of consistently full buses. The free tours will continue through the end of June this year. Merchandise associated with idols, such as albums, light sticks, posters, shirts, and keychains, which previously only appeared in foreign shows, have become popular in Vietnam. And this is seen as an opportunity for the entertainment industry to create new jobs and also promote national culture.
This year's impressive music award also attracted an upsurge in viewers voting via text messages. The fan community called and voted for their favorite artists. In some voting awards, the amount of money fans spent could reach as high as 40,000 USD.
Those artists and shows create a huge buzz within the fan community.
The formidable spending power of fans can create an ecosystem, from fan meetings, regular music nights, and entertainment events to launching souvenir products or signing contracts with brands and sponsors. This is what foreign countries with developed entertainment industries have been doing for many years.
Normally, products have to be produced before selling. However, idol-related merchandise can be sold before it is produced. That is the biggest advantage of cultural industry products. Investors see the potential of this industry, so they will compete to eat better products.
Recently, a fan community called Global Fire jointly sponsored the Call Me by Fire program to the international press. More than 350 international news sites reported on this program, including many major agencies such as AP and SINA. The strong support of fans also poses challenges for artists and production companies to launch high-quality artistic products.
It is a very positive energy source, and it always motivates me to have confidence when attending international events or releasing music products.
From the producer's perspective, I think we need to invest more in content so that it can improve daily. We want to bring the audience the best and most unique experiences.
The K-pop industry, for instance, generates about 10 billion USD for South Korea each year. This country devotes significant resources to market research to reach a wider audience as effectively as possible and monetize idol culture. Vietnam can also draw on this experience in developing the entertainment industry.
The art of decorating the Khơ people's nail pools in Ta Bông district, Quảng Ngãi province, was recognized as a national intangible cultural heritage on Monday night. And this traditional art form is valued for its unique expression of creative spirit and distinctive cultural identity. The poles, standing about 5 meters high, are adorned with 3 colors, red, black, and white, and feature a swallow motif symbolizing good fortune. This artistic tradition has persisted through generations, becoming a defining element of folk culture in the Trường Sơn Tây Nguyên region. Hà Lăng ethnic women move gracefully in the traditional Theo dance amid jubilant celebrations. And this special dance of the Hà Lăng ethnic people in Kon Tum province carries the deep imprints of their culture through every step and gesture. And through all challenges, the Hà Lăng community continues to preserve and promote this tradition from generation to generation.
During the New Rice Celebration Festival of the Ha Long people, graceful women in traditional brocades dance with lively, rhythmic movements. They perform the Chio dance accompanied by joyful gong rhythms.
The Chio dance has been part of our community festivals since ancient times, passed down through generations from grandmothers and mothers to their daughters.
According to artisans, the Chio dance movements reflect daily activities like sowing seeds, planting rice, and chasing away birds. The Ha Long women have artfully woven the graceful motion of soaring birds into their unique rhythmic dance movements.
The dance was inspired by the beautiful flight of birds. The women working in the field saw the birds and brought the wingspans into the dance, bringing joy to the community. The dance also symbolizes strength and resilience in life.
We preserve and promote traditional cultural values through local festivals, performances, and provincial competitions. These events motivate artisans to pass on cultural values to the younger generation.
Moving gracefully to the rhythm of gongs, the Ha Long women consistently practice their traditional Chio dance. Their dedication helps preserve and showcase the unique cultural heritage of the Central Highlands ethnic communities.
Coming up next in our world news. Israel attacks targets in Gaza as ceasefire deadlock breaks. Russia and the U.S. push to restore bilateral relations. Now moving on to our world news, the Israeli army launched a large-scale offensive on the Gaza Strip early Tuesday, killing at least 100 people and injuring 150. According to the Israel Defense Forces, the country's air force struck multiple Hamas targets in Gaza in operations that included ground forces. The offensive began exactly 2 months after the ceasefire with Hamas took effect on January 19. While the initial phase lasted 6 weeks, the ceasefire ended on March 1st without extension due to disagreements over implementation terms for its second phase. Several regional countries have expressed deep concern over Israel's renewed offensive in Gaza, urging the international community to intervene immediately to halt the fighting and protect civilians' lives. Russia and the United States are working to restore bilateral relations and re-establish dialogue mechanisms at various levels, according to Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov on Monday. Peskov emphasized the significance of Tuesday's scheduled phone call between Russian President Vladimir Putin and U.S. President Donald Trump. The conversation will focus on bilateral relations and resolving the Ukraine conflict. Meanwhile, President Putin issued a decree on Monday permitting the U.S. hedge fund 683 Capital Partners to trade securities of Russian companies through Western financial institutions. The decree further allows 2 Russian companies to conduct securities transactions with this U.S. fund without presidential approval. Malaysia and Singapore have warned citizens, particularly senior citizens, against hastily investing in cryptocurrency amid a surge in investment fraud cases. According to Malaysia's Bukit Aman Commercial Crime Investigation Department Director, cryptocurrency scams have become a major commercial crime trend, often luring professionals and retirees with promises of high returns. Many Malaysians have invested their life savings or taken out loans to participate. Meanwhile, in Singapore, the police have recently released a report showing that Singaporeans lost a record amount of $822 million in scams last year. Notably, losses due to cryptocurrency-related scams account for nearly 25% of the total. Malaysian and Singaporean authorities advise people, especially senior citizens, to thoroughly investigate before making any investments. Cuba is experiencing an energy crisis with electricity deficit soaring to 57% in recent months. And this crisis disrupts not only production but daily life, but also the clean water supply system. As the state-managed drinking water system fails to meet demand, residents must turn to alternatives, from well water to private bottled water services.
On the outskirts of the city, in the coastal town of Guanabo, where water has historically been brackish, the drinking water pipe service run by the state has dwindled due to lack of fuel, and well water has become an option for residents.
I came to buy water here because here, in this area of Guanabo, the water is brackish, and that means you can't drink that water. It is only for bathing, for washing. And then we have to buy the water at some point in places where there is a pipe, which brings it from a well.
In downtown Havana, private purified water businesses are thriving. Initially focused on serving restaurants, diplomatic missions, and foreign companies, these businesses have expanded their clientele to include residents facing unreliable water supplies or lacking gas and electricity to boil water.
This water is good, and with all our current difficulties with water supply, electricity, and gas shortages, it costs about the same here as what we'd spend at home.
In Cuba, 79.6% of the population receives drinking water through networks managed by water and sewage companies. However, frequent leaks, broken pumping equipment, and constant power outages across the island have severely disrupted this service.
And as usual, let's move on to the weather forecast. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.